Boker Tov, we're continuing in Sefer Yonah. We are in Perek Gimel, Pasuk Zayin, and we said at this point in the story, the king of Nineveh as well takes off his royal clothing, puts on sackcloth, and tells the people to do Teshuva. And the Pesukim continue on this vein. Vayazek, Vayomer ben Nineveh. Vayazek is like Zaka. It was announcements and screamings. Vayomer, it was said in the city of Nineveh. Mitam HaMelech Ugdolav, in the name of the king and the heads of the city. Lemor, saying, Ha'adam ve'abehema, man and animal, Ha'bakar ve'atzon, cattle and sheep. We'll see what the difference is between behema, bakar, and so on. Al yitamu me'uma, nobody's allowed to taste anything. Meaning, the king said, there's a fast day, he announced it before, this fast day is even on the animals. Al yir'u, they can't graze. Umayim al yishtu, even water they can't drink. It's a teshuva all the way to the animals. Nobody could drink over here. Nobody could eat. I'll read. So the Malbim over here explains what's the difference between the behema and the tzonu bakar. He explains behema is animals that you might have in your house, let's say as pets, etc. Tzonu bakar is the animals of the field. The Gaon Mevilna is going to say a beautiful explanation, but I'll keep that for the end. In addition, Rashi explains that, no, that's on the next pasuk, I'm sorry. So even though in the order of the Pesukim we saw, as mentioned yesterday, the people of Nineveh took upon themselves to fast first. Then the king heard about it, he also did. The king added this concept of even the animals fasting. We're going to see in a moment that everyone has to make sure to return if they ever stole anything or anything like that. The king's going to say more. And that's the next pasuk. Vayitkesu sakim, ha'adam ve'abehema. And he told the people to cover yourselves in sackcloth, man and animal. Very interesting. The Mefarshim don't really say much on this. The animal as well is included in wearing sackcloth. Maybe let's say donkeys or camels that had saddles to put sackcloth on to make, like they're also in this mode of teshuvah. V'yikreu el Elokim bechozka, and call out to God in a strong way. V'yashuvu ish midarko hara, and return man from his path, from the bad path, return. Umine chamas asher bekapehem, and remove yourself from the geneva, from the stealing that's in your hands. What does this mean? Call out to God in a strong way. Rashi brings down from the Gemara Masechet Ta'anit that says they called out to Hashem in a strong way, and he said that the king told the people to separate men and children, meaning in families, be separate rooms. Animals, separate the parents and the children. So why? We're going to call out to you, Hashem, and say that if you don't answer us, it's like you're not caring about your children. It's like these animals not caring about their children. It's like these people separate from their children. So please answer us in Teshuva. That was their chokhmah of how to try to get Hashem to answer to their children. Something unbelievable. Also, the Malbim points out, in this pasuk you see, Shikreu el Elohim bechozka, they called out to God, that's tefillah, and Yashuvu ish midarko hara, that's teshuvah. So it was a combination of tefillah together with teshuvah, changing their ways. Pasuk tet. Mi yodea yashuv. Whoever knows how to do teshuvah, please do teshuvah. The king is announcing. V'nicham ha'elokim, and Hashem will forgive us. V'shav v'charon apo, Hashem will return from his anger. V'lo noved, so that we will not be lost. We will not lose out. One of the Farshim over here explain that, what does this mean, mi yodea? Mi yodea, whoever knows, yashuv. Meaning, this is now looking at your own personal sins that nobody else knows. Mi yodea, who knows? Sometimes you know only about your own sin. But stealing, there's a guy that knows that you stole from him. There's a guy that knows that something was stolen from him. But he might not know who stole it. But now there's some averot that only you know about. So mi yodea, whoever knows about his own sins, do teshuvah and return. So he's covering the entire gamut of things that are known, things that are not known, things that are hidden, stolen things, tefillah, teshuvah, the entire gamut of teshuvah over here. The Gaon Mevilna says something unbelievable. he says that the Pesukim here connect to us. If you look at the Pesukim, it talks about the king and the Gedolav, the leaders, and the Adam, Behema, Bakar, and Son. So he says the king and the Gedolav and the Adam. So he says the king is even Talmidei Chachamim. And meaning everybody has to do Teshuva. Gedolav are Yirei Elokim, almost Talmidei Chachamim, very high level. Adam is kind of your Benoni, regular guy. He says Behema, Bakar, and Son is talking about two types of Amei Haaretz, people as well. It's called Behema, Bakar, and Son. What's the difference between Behema and Bakar? Behema is what's referred to as Behema Gasa, like wild animals. So sometimes you have a person that doesn't follow Hashem's ways in a wild way. I don't care what it says, I don't care, I do my own thing. Sometimes you have people that they don't do, but they're like cattle, meaning once you explain to them a little bit, they're going to listen to the Talmid Chacham. Once you explain to them, this is the proper thing, they say, oh, okay, I'll follow, I'll do it. They're just not doing it now because they don't know. So even in types of people, we don't want to be that Behema Gasa, I don't care. They come, they hear speed, okay, whatever, and they go, they come on doing their own way. But there's sometimes people, they're just not doing because they don't know better. And they're like Bakar and Son. But what happens, says the Gaon of Vilna, at the end of the day, everybody was told not to eat, even the animals. And this is even on Yom Kippur. Even on the Behema Gasa, we hope that he's not so wild that he's going to eat on Yom Kippur. We hope that, when I was in the airport now in Israel, I was in line, and there's two girls talking behind me. Sometimes you just overhear conversations. And even though, unfortunately, tattoos and things like that, there was someone from far, for some reason, in the airport blowing the shofar. People are doing things, whatever, blowing the shofar. And these girls were saying, I love Yom Kippur, and I can't wait. And someone was saying, even though there were tattoos and everything, and one was saying, yeah, I fast the whole time, I can't wait till my mother's cookies. And the other one says, and then they're talking about, but it was very interesting that people you would think are so removed, but they're still, of course, fasting. Unfortunately, there's people that are removed and they don't even fast on Yom Kippur. But what the Gaon of Vilna says is that when a person does fast on Yom Kippur, he is still connected, of course, to Teshuva. Even if he's a Behema Gasa, even if he's like the worst type of person that in general always says, I don't care about the mitzvot, I don't care, whatever. And he does Teshuva, he fasts on Yom Kippur, that is, of course, connected to Teshuva. So this is the Gaon of Vilna explaining these Pesukim for us to connect to Teshuva, each one on their level. And even the worst of the worst could connect to Teshuva. We fast Yom Kippur, the bare minimum, we can connect to Teshuva. Unbelievable words. We'll continue tomorrow to finish up the third Perek, start the fourth, and continue with Sefer Yoda. Baruch Adonai Le'olam, Amen ve'Amen. Rabbi Chananya ben Akash Omer, tzak kadosh baruch hu lizakot, et yisaficha chibur adam tanasa shenemar, Adonai hafetz man tzidko, yigdil Torah ve'yadir.